E-commerce is no longer a niche segment of the global economy. It has rapidly transformed into a dominant force in international retail and commerce. Consumers across the world increasingly prefer the unparalleled convenience offered by online shopping platforms. This significant shift towards digital purchasing has seen an accelerated pace in recent years, fundamentally altering consumer habits. The inherent ease of browsing vast product selections, comparing prices with a few clicks, and receiving goods directly at one's doorstep continues to fuel this remarkable and sustained growth. Consequently, businesses, ranging from small local enterprises to large multinational corporations, are wholeheartedly embracing online platforms to expand their reach to a much wider, often global, customer base. The digital marketplace, in essence, has become truly global, dynamic, and is perpetually expanding its frontiers. The COVID-19 pandemic, an unprecedented global event, acted as a powerful and undeniable catalyst in this digital transformation. It dramatically pushed an even greater number of consumers and businesses into the online realm, almost overnight. During periods of lockdown and stringent social distancing measures, e-commerce transitioned from a mere convenience to an absolute essential for daily life. Many individuals discovered the benefits of online shopping for the very first time during this period. They quickly found it to be a convenient, safe, and reliable alternative to traditional physical retail. This trend has largely persisted, demonstrating a lasting change in behavior, even as physical stores have reopened their doors. The habits meticulously formed during the pandemic have profoundly reshaped consumer behavior, leading to e-commerce platforms experiencing unprecedented levels of traffic and sales volumes, thereby solidifying their pivotal market position. Developing economies around the globe are also witnessing a significant and impressive surge in e-commerce adoption. Key drivers behind this accelerated growth include steadily increasing internet penetration rates and the widespread availability and usage of mobile phones. Younger demographics in these regions are particularly tech-savvy and display a strong eagerness to engage in online shopping activities. Furthermore, local entrepreneurs are actively launching innovative e-commerce ventures, often tailored to specific local needs and preferences. This entrepreneurial spirit is not only fostering economic growth but also creating new and valuable job opportunities. The rate of e-commerce growth in these emerging regions often surpasses that observed in more mature markets, signaling a massive and largely untapped potential for digital commerce on a global scale. This rapid and far-reaching expansion of e-commerce presents a complex tapestry of both substantial opportunities and significant challenges. On one hand, businesses find themselves empowered to scale their operations much faster. They can now reach new geographical markets with relative ease, breaking down traditional barriers to entry. Consumers, in turn, benefit immensely from a greater array of choices and increasingly competitive pricing structures. However, on the other hand, this profound digital shift also places considerable pressure on existing infrastructures, including logistics and payment systems. It simultaneously forces a critical re-evaluation of long-standing traditional business models. Crucially, existing regulatory frameworks, especially those pertaining to taxation, are struggling to keep pace with the dynamic nature of online commerce. The sheer volume, speed, and often borderless nature of online transactions demand entirely new approaches and adaptive strategies from governments worldwide. Traditional tax systems established decades ago were primarily designed for an economy characterized by physical, brick-and-mortar stores. These systems inherently rely on businesses having tangible assets and a clear, identifiable geographic location. Core taxation mechanisms such as sales tax, value-added tax, and corporate income tax are often intricately linked to the concept of physical presence within a specific jurisdiction. This established model faces immense strain when confronted with the inherently borderless nature of modern e-commerce. Accurately identifying precisely where a digital transaction occurs for tax purposes can be an incredibly complex undertaking. Consequently, determining which national or local jurisdiction possesses the legitimate right to tax that transaction becomes a major recurring hurdle for tax authorities globally, creating exploitable loopholes and systemic inconsistencies. The intangible nature of many digital goods and services presents another formidable problem for outdated tax frameworks. Products such as software, streaming media services, and digital downloads do not possess a physical form, unlike traditional goods. Tracking the sale and cross-border delivery of these intangible items is exceptionally difficult using conventional methods. Traditional tax rules and definitions often do not adequately or clearly cover these new and evolving types of products. This ambiguity inevitably leads to potential revenue loss for governments around the world. It also contributes to an uneven and unfair playing field, creating disparities between businesses operating in the digital space and those still rooted in traditional commerce. The very definition of a permanent establishment for tax purposes is a subject of constant debate and reinterpretation in this rapidly evolving digital context. E-commerce, unfortunately, can also inadvertently facilitate the growth and persistence of the shadow economy. Numerous small online sellers may choose to operate without formally registering for tax purposes with the relevant authorities. They might also be tempted to underreport their actual income to reduce their tax liabilities. The perceived anonymity offered by some online platforms and certain digital payment methods can make such non-compliant activities seem easier to conceal. While cash transactions are less common in the purely online sphere, they can still occur through various alternative payment mechanisms or in related offline activities. This erosion of the formal tax base places a disproportionately greater burden on businesses and individuals who are fully compliant with their tax obligations. Governments find it increasingly challenging to effectively monitor the vast, ever-increasing number of online transactions without modern tools. Furthermore, large multinational e-commerce giants often employ highly complex corporate structures and sophisticated tax planning strategies. These strategies can enable them to legally shift substantial portions of their profits to jurisdictions with significantly lower tax rates, or even no tax at all. This practice, while sometimes technically compliant with existing international tax laws, demonstrably reduces their overall tax contributions in the countries where they generate significant revenue and utilize public services. This has, quite understandably, led to widespread public outcry and persistent calls for comprehensive international tax reform. Many existing bilateral and multilateral tax treaties are fundamentally outdated. They were drafted in a pre-digital era and consequently do not adequately address the complex economic realities of the modern digital economy, resulting in significant tax revenue losses for numerous nations. The Egyptian government astutely recognized these emerging global tax challenges at a relatively early stage. Officials understood the pressing and critical need for a modernized tax system. Such a system had to be capable of effectively capturing revenue from the rapidly growing digital economy. It also needed to possess the capacity to integrate the substantial informal, or shadow sector into the formal economic framework. To achieve these ambitious goals, the Egyptian Tax Authority embarked on a comprehensive and ambitious digital transformation journey. The overarching objective was to significantly enhance tax compliance across the board. Simultaneously, it aimed to create a much fairer and more equitable tax environment for all businesses, regardless of their size or sector. This proactive initiative by Egypt represents a significant and commendable step forward in public finance management. A central cornerstone of this sweeping tax transformation is the nationwide implementation of a mandatory e-invoicing system. This innovative system legally requires all businesses operating in Egypt to issue standardized electronic invoices for every transaction they conduct. These electronic invoices are then submitted in real time or near real time directly to the Egyptian Tax Authority's central platform. This continuous flow of data provides the tax authority with an unprecedented level of visibility into the intricate web of business activities occurring throughout the country. The system was strategically implemented in a phased approach. It commenced with the largest taxpayers and then gradually expanded its scope to include medium-sized and eventually smaller businesses, ensuring a smoother transition. Visionary figures such as engineer Yasser Taimour, serving as advisor to the Minister of Finance for ETA reform, played a pivotal role in spearheading this complex reform. The Egyptian Tax Authority wisely chose to utilize robust and scalable technology to support this massive and critical undertaking. Microsoft SQL Server and Windows Server technologies form the powerful backbone of the e-invoicing system's infrastructure. These proven technologies provide the necessary scalability to handle vast amounts of data, ensure system reliability, and deliver high performance. Furthermore, Microsoft Power BI is extensively used for advanced data analytics and sophisticated reporting functionalities. This enables the ETA to extract meaningful insights and identify emerging trends from the enormous volumes of invoice data that are continuously collected. The primary focus throughout the development and implementation phases was on creating a single, comprehensive electronic database encompassing all business-to-business transactions occurring across the entire nation. To ensure the widespread adoption and ultimate success of the e-invoicing system, the Egyptian government took a firm stance by mandating its use without granting exceptions. This decisive and unwavering approach was absolutely crucial for achieving the desired level of compliance and system effectiveness. Concurrently, the ETA launched extensive multimedia advertising campaigns. These carefully designed campaigns served to educate businesses thoroughly about the new e-invoicing requirements. They also effectively highlighted the numerous benefits that e-invoicing offers to businesses themselves, such as streamlined processes and improved record-keeping. Crucially, valuable feedback was actively solicited from companies that participated in the initial pilot phase. This iterative feedback loop helped to identify and resolve potential issues, thereby refining the system before its full-scale nationwide implementation. The strong leadership of Mrs. Rasha Abdel Al-Radi, the head of the ETA, was undeniably instrumental in navigating this complex transition. Effectively complementing the comprehensive business-to-business e-invoicing system, Egypt also strategically introduced an innovative e-receipt system. This parallel system specifically targets and addresses business-to-consumer transactions, which constitute a vast portion of economic activity. The primary aim of the e-receipt initiative is to bring a much greater degree of transparency and accountability to retail sales across the country. Under this system, consumers receive standardized digital receipts for all their purchases. Importantly, these electronic receipts are also simultaneously logged with the tax authority's central database. This crucial extension of digital oversight allows the Egyptian tax authority to gain enhanced visibility into the entire supply chain, from manufacturer to final consumer. It effectively ensures that sales made to end consumers are accurately recorded, reported, and made available for tax assessment purposes. The e-receipt system plays a vital role in helping to formalize the often fragmented and informal retail sector within Egypt. Historically, many small retailers and service providers operated, at least partially, within the shadow economy. They frequently did not issue proper, verifiable receipts for transactions. This widespread practice made it exceedingly difficult for tax authorities to accurately assess their true sales volumes and consequently, their tax liabilities. The introduction of the e-receipt system actively encourages these businesses to register formally with the tax authorities. It also provides a strong incentive for them to report their transactions accurately and consistently. This process significantly broadens the overall tax base, contributing to increased government revenue that can be used for public services. The successful development and rollout of this system were significantly advanced by the efforts of key personnel like Nancy Hamid, the dedicated e-receipt project manager. For consumers, the adoption of e-receipts offers several clear and tangible advantages. Firstly, these digital receipts provide a secure, easily accessible, and permanent record of their purchases. This is particularly useful for managing warranties, processing returns, or accurately tracking personal or business expenses. Secondly, it empowers consumers by enabling them to play an active role in ensuring that the businesses they patronize are tax compliant. By simply requesting and receiving an e-receipt, consumers effectively participate in the creation of a fairer and more transparent tax system for everyone. The overarching goal is to foster a widespread culture of tax compliance and fiscal responsibility throughout society. This ultimately benefits both the government through stable revenue and the public through improved and expanded public services. Together, the meticulously designed e-invoicing and e-receipt systems work in concert to create an exceptionally comprehensive digital record of economic activity. This integrated system aims to cover almost all commercial transactions taking place within Egypt, from large corporate deals to small, everyday purchases. It is important to note that the data collected by these systems is not directly focused on tax collection per se. Instead, its primary function is to provide a detailed, granular, and near real-time view of the overall economic activity within the nation. This holistic data-driven approach allows the Egyptian tax authority to better understand complex market dynamics. It enables the identification of emerging economic trends, sectoral growth patterns, and potential areas of concern. This rich and continuously updated dataset proves invaluable, not only for tax administration but also for informed policymaking and strategic economic planning at the national level. Section 5. Transformative gains, enhanced compliance, and reduced fraud. The thoughtful implementation of Egypt's ambitious digital tax systems has already begun to yield a range of significant and measurable benefits for the nation's fiscal health. One of the most important and immediate outcomes observed is a marked improvement in overall tax compliance rates across various sectors. The mandatory real-time reporting of virtually all commercial transactions makes it substantially harder for businesses to engage in tax evasion practices. Activities such as underreporting income or artificially inflating expenses become much riskier and more easily detectable within this transparent digital framework. The system is designed to automatically flag discrepancies and unusual patterns, prompting further investigation. This inherent visibility strongly encourages voluntary compliance. Businesses are acutely aware that their transactions are being systematically monitored, leading to more accurate and honest tax declarations. A particularly noteworthy achievement of the new system is the drastic reduction in arbitrary tax estimations previously made by tax officials. In the past, the process of assessing taxes for certain businesses, especially smaller enterprises with less formal record-keeping, could often be highly subjective and inconsistent. This subjectivity frequently led to disputes between taxpayers and the tax authority, fostering a perception of unfairness within the system. The e-invoicing system, by its very nature, provides clear, objective, and verifiable data for every registered transaction. This robust data forms a solid and reliable basis for all tax assessments. Consequently, this has led to a more objective, predictable, and equitable tax assessment process for everyone involved. It has also significantly improved the overall taxpayer experience, making interactions with the Egyptian tax authority smoother, faster, and more transparent. Tax examinations, which under the previous manual systems could often take many months or even extend into years to complete, can now be concluded with remarkable speed. In a growing number of cases, these once lengthy examinations are being shortened to a matter of mere hours or days. The Egyptian tax authority now possesses readily accessible, comprehensive data through its centralized digital database of transactions. This empowers tax officials to conduct thorough remote tax audits with greater efficiency. The necessity for disruptive and time-consuming field visits to business premises has been significantly reduced. This streamlined process saves considerable time and valuable resources for both the tax authority and the businesses themselves. The efficiency gains achieved are substantial, freeing up ETA staff to focus their expertise on more complex tax cases and on providing enhanced taxpayer support services. The newly implemented digital system stands as a powerful and effective tool for detecting, deterring, and ultimately reducing instances of tax fraud. The comprehensive nature of the collected data allows the ETA to identify suspicious patterns of activity that might indicate fraudulent behavior. Tax officials can now easily cross-reference information from various sources within the system, creating a more complete picture of a taxpayer's activities. This enhanced analytical capability helps to uncover sophisticated fraudulent schemes more effectively and at an earlier stage. A key strategic outcome of this digital transformation is the successful integration of a significant portion of the previously informal shadow economy into the formal taxed system. This positive and upward trend in tax compliance is widely expected to contribute directly to the ongoing modernization and improvement of public services throughout Egypt, funded by the resultant increase in stable government revenue. Section 6. The AI Frontier, Automating Tax Audits and Examinations. Egypt's ambitious journey into tax modernization is far from over. Indeed, it is poised for further innovation. The Egyptian Tax Authority, or ETA, has clearly articulated ambitious plans for the next phase of its development. The authority intends to strategically leverage the vast and rich database meticulously created by the e-invoicing and e-receipt systems. This comprehensive dataset will serve as the critical foundation for developing and deploying an advanced artificial intelligence system. The ultimate goal of this forward-looking initiative is to achieve fully automated tax examinations and audits for a significant portion of taxpayers. This represents the next logical evolutionary step in modernizing tax administration. Such a system promises to deliver even greater levels of efficiency, accuracy, and fairness in the tax assessment and collection process. Artificial intelligence algorithms possess the remarkable capability to analyze enormous and complex datasets at speeds far exceeding human capacity. These sophisticated algorithms can identify intricate patterns, subtle correlations, and critical anomalies within the data that might indicate potential non-compliance or fraudulent activity. This includes the ability to detect highly sophisticated and novel fraud schemes that are often very difficult, if not impossible, to spot through manual review processes alone. Furthermore, AI can be effectively utilized to risk score taxpayers based on a multitude of factors derived from their transactional data. This intelligent risk assessment allows the ETA to strategically focus its limited human audit resources on the highest risk cases, thereby maximizing the effectiveness and impact of its enforcement efforts and ensuring that valuable resources are deployed where they are most urgently needed. The strategic deployment of artificial intelligence in tax administration is widely expected to significantly enhance the early-stage detection of fraudulent activities. By identifying potential fraud indicators as transactions occur, or even by predicting likely fraudulent behavior before it fully materializes, the ETA can intervene much more promptly and decisively. This proactive capability is crucial for minimizing revenue loss to the state. It also acts as a far stronger deterrent against potential tax evasion. Businesses will become increasingly aware that highly sophisticated and intelligent systems are continuously monitoring transactions in real time. This type of proactive and predictive capability is truly a game changer, not only for tax authorities in Egypt but for those around the world seeking to improve compliance and safeguard public finances. The automation of tax examinations through AI will further streamline and improve the entire audit process from start to finish. Many routine checks and verifications, which currently consume significant human auditor time, can be efficiently handled by AI systems. This strategic automation will free up skilled human auditors. They can then dedicate their expertise and time to focusing on more complex, nuanced investigations that require human judgment and specialized knowledge. Importantly, this shift also promises to reduce the compliance burden on honest and compliant taxpayers. They will likely experience fewer and less intrusive audits as the system becomes better at distinguishing between genuine errors and deliberate evasion. The overall aim is to create a tax system that is not only highly efficient, but also demonstrably intelligent and adaptive, capable of responding effectively to new evasion tactics while ensuring fairness for all participants in the economy. Section 7. Securing the system, data confidentiality and trust. With the systematic collection and centralized storage of vast amounts of highly sensitive financial and transactional data, the issue of security becomes absolutely paramount. The Egyptian Tax Authority recognized this critical aspect from the very inception of its digital transformation project. Ensuring the robust confidentiality of the newly created databases and protecting all taxpayer information was identified as a key and non-negotiable concern. A breach of this sensitive data could have severe and far-reaching consequences. It could potentially undermine public trust in the entire digital tax system, jeopardizing years of progress. Therefore, comprehensive and multi-layered security measures were meticulously integrated into the system's core design, architecture, and ongoing operational protocols from day one. The Microsoft technologies that form the technological foundation of Egypt's pioneering e-invoicing system play a crucial and indispensable role in this security framework. These advanced technologies are specifically designed and engineered to provide exceptionally high levels of scalability and operational agility. Crucially, they also offer inherently strong security features and consistently reliable performance, which are vital for such a critical national infrastructure. This includes sophisticated safeguards against unauthorized access attempts, robust defenses against data breaches, and continuous protection from evolving cyber attacks. Regular security updates, vigilant system monitoring, and proactive threat intelligence are all essential components of maintaining a consistently secure operational environment. The Egyptian Tax Authority has publicly stated its unwavering commitment to protecting taxpayer data with the utmost rigor and diligence. Building and critically maintaining taxpayer trust is absolutely essential for the long-term success and sustainability of any tax system. This principle holds even greater significance for a modern digital system that fundamentally relies on the consistent and accurate sharing of sensitive data by businesses and individuals. Taxpayers need concrete assurance that their confidential financial information is being kept safe and secure at all times. They also need to genuinely believe that the tax system itself is operating in a fair, transparent, and equitable manner. Recognizing this, the ETA has actively worked to communicate its stringent security protocols to the public. It has also consistently emphasized the tangible benefits that the new digital system offers to honest and compliant taxpayers, thereby promoting a sense of partnership and shared responsibility in building a stronger fiscal future. Beyond purely technological safeguards, strong and clearly defined legal and regulatory frameworks are also indispensable components of a secure tax ecosystem. These frameworks must comprehensively govern data protection standards and individual privacy rights. They need to clearly define the rights and responsibilities of both the tax authority and the taxpayers concerning the collection, storage, access, usage, and eventual retention or disposal of sensitive data. Clear, unambiguous rules regarding who can access taxpayer data, under what specific circumstances, and for what legitimate purposes are absolutely vital for maintaining public confidence. These robust legal and regulatory measures, when effectively combined with advanced security technology and transparent operational practices, help to create a secure and trustworthy digital tax ecosystem. This solid foundation of trust, in turn, actively encourages greater voluntary compliance and willing cooperation from the entire business community. Section 8: Global Ripples, E-commerce Tax Trends and International Adaptation. Egypt's pioneering e-commerce tax revolution is not an isolated event occurring in a vacuum. Many countries across the globe are currently grappling with remarkably similar challenges posed by the digital economy. They too are actively exploring and implementing innovative digital solutions to modernize their often outdated tax systems. The continued and rapid rise of global e-commerce behemoths, such as Amazon, Alibaba, and more recent entrants, necessitates a more coordinated and robust international response to ensure fair taxation. Companies like Temu and Shein, for instance, are expanding their operations at an astonishing pace, including making significant inroads into burgeoning markets across the African continent. This dynamic global expansion inevitably puts considerable competitive pressure on established local e-commerce players such as Jumia in Africa. It also simultaneously creates new and complex challenges for national tax authorities trying to keep pace. The competitive dynamics within the rapidly evolving African e-commerce sector are becoming increasingly intense. Jumia Group's chief executive officer, Francis Dufay, recently expressed a strong sense of confidence in his company's ability to effectively compete against these new, well-funded global giants. He also acknowledged the market's focus on profitability, indicating an aim to provide a clear and credible timeline for Jumia to achieve sustainable profits, a point of significant scrutiny for investors since its initial public offering. The overall growth of this dynamic sector carries significant economic implications for the continent. It has the potential to drive substantial job creation, foster innovation, and contribute to broader economic development. However, this growth also underscores the urgent need for tax policies to adapt swiftly, ensuring that this new and expanding source of economic value contributes fairly to national revenues. Countries worldwide are increasingly looking towards adopting models similar to Egypt's e-invoicing and real-time transaction reporting systems. The demonstrable success and tangible benefits of initiatives like Egypt's provide a valuable and practical case study for other nations considering similar reforms. Simultaneously, prominent international organizations such as the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, are working diligently on developing new global tax rules. These rules are specifically designed to address the unique tax challenges presented by the digitalization of the economy. Concepts like a global minimum corporate tax rate are being actively debated and negotiated among nations. The overarching goal of these international efforts is to ensure that multinational enterprises, particularly those in the digital space, pay their fair and equitable share of tax in the jurisdictions where they actually operate and generate their substantial profits. The prevailing trend towards comprehensive digital tax administration is unmistakably clear and gaining momentum globally. Governments everywhere recognize the critical need for enhanced visibility into the complex web of online transactions. They require sophisticated digital tools to enforce tax compliance effectively and efficiently in the modern economy. This often involves substantial investment in new technologies, advanced data analytics capabilities, and the development of specialized skills within tax authorities. Furthermore, it necessitates much closer international cooperation and information sharing to effectively tackle issues like cross-border tax evasion and aggressive tax avoidance strategies. As e-commerce continues its relentless and transformative growth trajectory, tax systems worldwide must continue to evolve proactively. They need to become more agile, data-driven, and digitally enabled to successfully keep pace with the perpetually changing global economic landscape. Section 9. Forging a Fairer Future, Transparency and Equity in Taxation. The ultimate and most profound goal of modernizing any tax system extends far beyond the mere technicalities of revenue collection. It is fundamentally about creating a system that is demonstrably transparent, inherently fair, and genuinely equitable for all citizens and businesses alike. The kind of digital transformation currently underway in Egypt and being considered by many other nations plays an absolutely crucial role in achieving these lofty yet essential objectives. Transparency within a tax system is significantly enhanced when the tax rules themselves are clear, easily understandable, and consistently applied. It is further improved when the processes of assessment and collection are visible, predictable, and primarily driven by objective data rather than subjective discretion. Systems like e-invoicing and e-receipts bring previously opaque transactions out of the shadows and into the light, making the entire economic landscape more transparent for everyone involved. Fairness in taxation is substantively achieved when all businesses, regardless of their size, sector, or mode of operation, online or offline, are required to play by the same set of rules. The implementation of digital tax systems, such as those in Egypt, helps to effectively level the playing field. These systems ensure that both established, traditional businesses and new digital enterprises contribute their appropriate and fair share towards public finances. The significant reduction in arbitrary tax estimations, a key outcome of Egypt's reforms, directly enhances the perception and reality of fairness. It ensures that tax assessments are consistently based on actual, verifiable economic activity, rather than on potentially biased or inconsistent subjective judgments. This in turn helps to build and maintain greater confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the tax system among businesses and the general public. An equitable tax system is one that ensures the overall tax burden is distributed appropriately and justly across society. This generally means that those individuals and corporations with a greater capacity to pay contribute a proportionally larger share of their income or profits. It also means that the revenue collected through taxation is sufficient to adequately fund essential public services that benefit all members of society. Increased government revenue, resulting from improved tax compliance and a broader tax base, can be strategically invested in critical areas such as education, healthcare, infrastructure development, and social safety nets. These investments directly contribute to improved quality of life and enhanced economic opportunities for the entire population. The dedicated efforts of key communication figures, such as Maha Ali, head of the media office for the head of the ETA, are vital in clearly articulating these societal benefits to the public. Egypt's ongoing journey towards a modern, digitally enabled tax system offers a wealth of valuable lessons for other countries embarking on similar paths. It clearly demonstrates that technology is an incredibly powerful enabler of comprehensive tax reform. However, it also underscores that strong political will, clear and consistent communication strategies, and an unwavering commitment to the principles of fairness and transparency are equally, if not more, important for sustained success. The path to creating a truly modern and effective tax system requires continuous adaptation, ongoing improvement, and a willingness to embrace change. As global e-commerce trends continue to evolve at a rapid pace, national and international tax strategies must also evolve in tandem. By wholeheartedly embracing transparency, leveraging technology wisely, and prioritizing equity, countries can build robust tax systems that effectively support sustainable economic growth and actively promote greater social equity for a brighter, more prosperous future for all.